Welcome to the Imagine Cruising Stadium, the home of Swindon Supermarine. Rain is hard to come by this summer, but wins, they're not. Bobby Wilkinson, the manager, the gaffer, joins me. Bobby, let's briefly talk about preseason. I don't know what you think of preseason, whether to gauge what you can gauge from it, because Ian Holloway said, don't bother, don't gauge anything. It's all about fitness. How was preseason for you?
Well, good to see you again, Dan, and thanks for coming up and doing an interview with us. Pre-season is very important to me. It's about recruitment. It's about getting your team organised and fit. And so far, touch wood, we've actually had quite a good pre-season and a good start to the season.
Yeah, you mentioned the start to the season. But before we get to that, you've got a number of clubs at this level now that one that you're very familiar with. You've got Dorchester, you got Weymouth, who you're very familiar with, and you'll be up against an ex-Premier League in Swindon Town, two-time Swindon Town striker, Charlie Austin at Hungerford. In your years of doing this, how has non-league football changed? Because there seems to be a lot of money about in the non-league game nowadays.
Yeah, especially this league, especially the top 6, top 7 teams. There is some money floating around. This is what I like about this football club. Of course, you'd always want a bit more money, and I'll knock on the chairman's door if I can. But we've got a strict budget. We'll be down near the bottom 4, bottom 5. That's my own personal opinion, but everyone might have a different opinion to that. But I know what's being branded around, and that's each their own. But we're trying to build a team on togetherness, work ethic, and standards. And so far, that's going quite well. I think everyone has understood it's going to be a tough league. It's a lot tougher than last year because of the 4 or 5 teams that have come into the division. But I'll be brutally honest, we're just waiting one game at a time. It'd be great to go back down to Weymouth and Hungerford. I think we've got both in December. So look forward to going back to my old clubs and putting ourselves up against these sort of big teams in this division with big budgets.
Bit of a Christmas present for you then.
Yeah, it will be.
Let's talk about the first game then, the FA Cup, the preliminary, the extra qualifying round. I can't believe it starts in like April. It's ridiculous before last year's final. Let's talk about that match because it was a fantastic game. A 3-1 win against Tuffley, 1-0 down from a penalty, but the substitutions made the key difference in the second half. 3 goals, including a player that I don't know if you're familiar with them, called Lucas Wilkinson. Now, the FA Cup socials seem to be made a big thing of a father-son combo. We've seen them in football, the Cloughs, the various different combinations, the Cloughs being the most successful, the Sturrocks. How do you, first of all, can I just say, brilliant. I think I WhatsApped you there. Brilliant goal from Lucas. Perfect. Like, if you didn't watch it, left-hand side of the pitch, right-footed shot. Did he mean that, or was that a cross?
100% meant it. It's my son, so I'd say he meant it even if he didn't, but he 100% meant it. Very proud manager. Because on the day I'm his manager, I'm not his dad. He takes it harder than anyone else. We had a fantastic write-up in the non-league yesterday that he has to find his own way to train in, find his own way back. But he's a young, talented player who's been around non-league for a long time, watching what we've achieved as a family, the struggles we've gone through as a family in non-league football, and we've always stuck together. And I developed an unbelievable left back last year that hasn't got half his talent, my son's talent. And I thought this year when he sat me down and said, could he come into men's football now? He come out the academy system. I said, let's go. But you're going to have to find it your own way, and it's going to be tough because I am your dad. And he deserves a lot of credit because he's done very well, come on and scored a fantastic goal. Brilliant for the football club, brilliant for everyone. Because I kept him quiet in pre-season. A lot of people didn't even know who he was. We put him down as trialist because I didn't even want to say who it was. So after that goal and that wonderful bit of skill down in the bottom corner there, and then to put it in the top locker, even if it was a cross in people's eyes, who cares? He put himself on the map. Then he got onto the bench against the team on Monday, but then he didn't make the bench the week after because I thought I'd give him a rest, take him out the limelight a little bit, and now he's fighting to get back into this squad.
I know it's early days for the season and your relationship between player and manager, but what's it like? Because I remember the documentary about Brian Clough, and Nigel said his relationship with his dad stopped when he became whatever number he was for Forest, and basically kept treating him like a player and would be merciless and relentless. Are you a bit softer than that?
No, I'm not. That's the actual problem. But people, you know what? You know how football fickle it is. People will be like, "Oh, he's your son." Like, you just got to ask any of my players. They know we had 3 rules: try to enjoy your football, don't bring it into the house. I never want to know what's going on in the changing room. And the third one was you got to find your own way to football and get home from football. And work comes first, and then football is a passion of yours. So they were the 3 rules, and I am hard on him because I want him to do well. In this world, it's a tough business, and it's a results business, and he's got to remember, this is my living. This is something I love to do. So he's took that on board, and he's been a credit to manage, but he's a credit because he's my son and I love being his father.
Diamonds are made under pressure. Let's talk about the league then. 1-0 win, first game, Shaftesbury. Obviously, they were playoff finalists the season beforehand. I do want to ask you about the skipper, Sam Turl, who was injured about 19 minutes by my estimation into the match. How's he doing? Because I know he didn't play the previous game.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be back in the next week or 2. It was a hell of a push from a certain player that did it off the ball. That, I don't think he should have done that, and he got away with it. And now we've lost the player for a couple of weeks. But I spoke to Sam every day. He's back in training tonight. He can't do contact yet, but he's okay. He's a warrior. He's Swindon through and through, isn't he? That's the caliber of player we want here this year. Come and play for the badge, not the money. And that's why everyone loves him here, and that's why he's a legend and will always be a legend. The quicker we get him back on the pitch, the happier I'll be.
And let's talk about that victory, Shaftesbury 1-0. Were you aware that their ex-manager was in the vicinity watching them?
Yeah, I was aware, and listen, I just don't find that funny on the new manager, and I hope he sees this interview. You don't need to do that. Like, you were the manager, you've walked away. Let this manager try his own journey now, and the manager they've got now will be very successful. He's a good person. He's trying to develop himself. Remember where he is. I was there 18 years ago, and you don't need the old manager coming to watch. That's where I talk about non-leagues a bit fickle. You've decided to move on, and I wish him all the best. Jim's a good person, but you don't need to be doing that. I heard he was at the game after that, and then I messaged the manager on Sunday when they won 7-2. I said, enjoy that moment, and hopefully he can just continue with his journey. But you don't need to put that pressure. We put pressure on ourselves. We don't win games of football. We put pressure. But when you've got ex-managers in the stands, because for some reason non-league football, everyone wants everyone to fail. And they want to show their faces when clubs are under pressure and stuff like that. I had that in my career before, but I quite enjoy that. It just makes me want to win more. So, I've been sacked once in my career. So, literally, I have no problems with managers turning up.
And let's just look at these games ahead of us. Slimbridge. This is their first league game. I was saying to one of the players who was like, have they not played yet? No, they've played in the FA Cup. They got a 2-1 win against Burnham, and then a 2-0 win away at Bolton in the trophy. And just so happens you play them again in the trophy, not too far into the future either. So what are you expecting of them for their first league match? And it's a home game for them as well. Well,
hopefully people will understand what I am all about. I didn't go home to about 12:30, 1:45 Friday night, and then I was up at 12 o'clock the next morning working on Bolton, and then I jumped in my car and I drove down to Bolton to watch Bolton Slimbridge. So I know everything about Slimbridge. I know everything about Bolton 2 weeks tonight, and we got Slimbridge twice now. They were very well organised, 2 good goals. Their captain came off injured, so we don't know if he'll be available because he's one of the best players in the league. We're up against a very, very tough opponents on very tricky conditions, because I was watching some highlights of them against Burnham last night as well. That's how sad I am. But this is going to be a tough one. But this is where the league just doesn't do things right. They're going to be up for it because their first home game on a Wednesday night in front of their crowd. So it will be another challenge for us, but one that we're taking on quite well this year. And I don't mind that, but it will be a real tough challenge for us to get 3 points down there.
Let's talk about the previous game quickly, because a 1-0 win. That's 2 in a row in the league. Well done. Bishop's Cleeve, what did you make of that game? Because it sounds like it was bloody tough.
Well, we know that's another team that made the playoffs. That's another team that are one of the favourites to go up. We played two of the favourites within a week. A lot of people don't realise I didn't have to play that Friday night. I offered to go there on a Friday night. I'll take any challenge on because you've got to play them sometimes. So why don't we just take the challenge on? It's like Wednesday night's game. I think we could have said no to that one. So to go there and win 1-0, that's all about my players, my management team from the very start of the season. They've worked extremely hard, but it's just two games. You know, I watch people over the years get carried away. Look, we're in the top 3, top 4. They'll be up there. Listen, we're not even looking at that. Can we be better than last year? Can we try and pick up some good wins along the way and some good draws? And all it is one game at a time. And that's the old cliche. I know that, but it was just 2 wins at the start of the season. They will be in the top 5. Shaftesbury will be in the top 5. No question about it. We're not looking to be there. We're just looking to be better than last year. You know, keep our feet on the ground, keep developing the young talent we've got. We've got a little bit more older experience this year as well, but we don't want to change our philosophy and change what we've been trying to do for a whole year. And hopefully the project will continue to bring success to this football club for 3-4 years down the line.
And let's finally talk about the Didcot match. The only competitive game from what I've seen they've played is a 6-3 win away at Maccabee London Lions. What do you make of them? Yeah,
well, they played Binfield, and lucky enough, I know the Binfield manager, so he sent me the video. So I've actually watched a few clips on them. I haven't watched the full game yet. I won't do that till Thursday. Their front four, very good. They play high. They're going to be a very tough opponent, especially at home. So we know that's going to be a challenge. We went there last year and got beat 1-0 last year, but we hadn't played for 3-4 weeks because we had the games called off. So we look forward to that. But why that's important for both clubs is it's money, isn't it? It's money for the pot. You want to get into the next round and give yourself a chance to win a bit more money. So the league goes out the window on the day. It's about, could you get a little bit of money for the football club and the chairman? I take FA Cup very serious because I know how important it is. And when I got to the first round with Weymouth, it was one of the best things that you could ever be in, and I really would love to take this club forward in the FA Cup, but we've got a tough challenge. They'll be favourites because we're at their grounds, but listen, we don't fear anyone at the moment. We're not going to fear anyone this year. Last year was a little bit different because we were so young, didn't know the league, didn't know anything. So if we get beat, we get beat, but we'll be going to try and beat them.
And a bit of a local derby. It's always interesting when Swindon play Oxfordshire.
Yeah, 100%. It's a big derby, and we've got a few of their players. They've got 1 or 2 of our players. So it's a local derby. The management team and the chairman there, they're good people at Didcot. We know they'll be favourites. We know it will be a challenge. But guess what? It's a derby. So let's enjoy it and see if we can knock them out of the FA Cup.
That's the spirit. Bobby, thank you very much. Brilliant. Good luck Wednesday.
Great to see you. Thank you.